Alright guys, so today we're here to go over all the maps. I'm just going to show you some wall boost spots. I'm not going to go over every single minute one that we can do. For example, you can boost on top of this. You can boost on top of this. And so on and so on. You can boost on top of this. You can boost on top of this. Those ones don't achieve anything. I'm going to be going through and showing you the best ones and ones that I would say are like second and third place. So we're going to do defense and attack. I'm just going to go through the map and like I'm just going to go however I go. It's not going to be attack or defense or anything like that. I'll give a brief description on why I think it's good and how to do it, but if I go through all of it showing you how to do it and stuff, video is going to end up being like 30-40 minutes long. If you need help understanding how to do the wall boost, I'll link it in the description and the info card. I think at this point 3 or 4 videos explaining how to do the wall boost, perfect boost, and other boosts on other maps. But with all that, let's get into Ascent and then we'll go through all the maps. Oh, and we're not going to be doing Breeze. I'm not going to be doing Breeze. I don't like playing on Breeze, and I don't think it's worth it for you to play Deadlock on Breeze. I think elok or Boni might have some help for that, so I would go check them out. They're both incredible content creators, but let's get into it. Okay, so first one that I have, this is an elok one, but this is kind of my own take on how to perform it. So what you're going to be doing is we're looking right here. And you'll notice these little shapes on the side of Gen. That is where we are. You're going to be lining yourself up with the left side of this one. Then you're going to be looking down and you'll see this belt on the ground and you'll see this faded tile in the ground. You're going to go to where the belt and the tile touch.
Barrier deployed.
And as you can see, you can get up here. And the reason why I like this one is because not a lot of people can get up on Gen without being in heaven first. So you're able to jump over here and then swing out. And if you like, you can also put a sensor down. And then once we have that sensor down, we can line ourselves back up. And then when we jump, you'll notice that we can't hear the sensor. But once we scooch over a little bit, we can now hear the sensor. So if somebody tries to swing out and kill you, you can like pop a shot and bait it and then sit over super far to the left and then swing out once they get stunned. Pretty solid one. This is elok's, by the way, not trying to take any credit. This is elok's boost. I think it's a great boost that he found, but I'm gonna go ahead and show you a bread and butter that I like to do in game, and then we'll move on to another one. So for this one, we're on A still. What you're going to be doing is getting in the corner of bricks. You're going to be looking in the like northeast direction, and you're going to see there's these 3 rocks right here. And the one that you know to be looking at is this one that has a very hard slant on it. And you're going to be looking at the bottom of that. If you are on high graphics, I learned this from helping someone else out. You will not be able to see this rock as well, but all you're looking is for this one that has a harsh drop to it. So again, there's 1, 2, 3, and then the one with the harsh drop. You're gonna be looking at that.
Barrier deployed.
And then as you see, it boosts you up. And one thing you can do is you can put a sensor on the corner here. So that way when they try and swing out, they will get stunned, and they will get stunned out here and not in the main. So you don't have to swing out and try and hit them because you can't see too much of main when you are up here. Pretty solid one. Really good on eco rounds, playing with a shotgun or an SMG. Also, one other thing about this, make sure someone shoots the dart for you so you don't have to look up here and then they end up swinging out and killing you. But yeah, solid one. Let's go ahead and move on to another one. So for this one is mainly you're going to be wanting to do this on defense. You're going to come down to where the barrier spawns, and the second the barriers drop, you're going to come up here. And if you're hearing a lot of footsteps mid, maybe they're pushing through mid this round, I would just back off and not do this. I would also say you probably want to put your sensors down on site beforehand. But what you're going to be doing is getting on top of here, looking at this line right here, and then you're going to go ahead and throw it. And you'll see you're able to get on top. Nice little off angle. I would also make sure that you don't need to be wary of top mid, just in case Jet has an op or something. Once on top though, you're able to move back and forth. You can look over here, look at tiles, and then you can also jump on top of the green boxes. If I don't whiff the jump, there you go. And you can get up here, and then you can also rotate through here really fast. Pretty solid. Elok did it in one of his videos. This is a boost we've known a while about, or known for a while about. It's not my absolute favorite. It's a little risky to do. You can also lead to end up having nothing happen, but not too bad. But let's go ahead and move on to the next boost. So as you guys can see, we're in B main. So as most of you know, this means we're going to be going for PB boost. And if you need a more, better breakdown of how to do PB boost, I have a video. It's going to be in the description, so you can go check that out. That video is all about PB boost and talking about it and how we do it. But for now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking down at the box. You're going to make sure you are straight. Walk over to the dots, come up to this part right here, this like darker patch that is missing. Then you move up just a tiny bit more, and then you're going to do the 3 clicks to the right, 1, 2, and 3, and then you're going to jump and throw.
Barrier deployed.
And as you can see, we are 100% accurate and able to see pretty much the entirety of sight, like if we were on a Sage wall. This one becomes easier the more you do it. I messed it up. I've messed it up in game. So don't stress over if you can't get it the first few tries. It does take a little bit to get. But with all that, we're going to go ahead and move on to bind now. Alright, so moving on to bind. One thing I'm going to go ahead and show you guys, because there isn't too many wall boosts that are what I would deem effective or like PB boost gets you a crazy off angle. Other wall boosts puts you on top of something while also walling off the main, and I would say that bind doesn't really have that so much. So one thing I am going to show you guys is a wall lineup to where you can throw the wall and then go play back on site. And what you're going to be doing is I have made a video about this before, but I thought I'd just go over it real quick because that was a little bit ago. You're going to be lining yourself up on the right side of the bench here. It doesn't have to be perfect, just the general area, and you're going to be looking at this little wire that's going over, and you're gonna be looking at these 3 pegs specifically, and you're gonna be looking at that that 3rd peg, and you're gonna be putting the bottom part of your HUD right on top of it, and then you're just gonna go ahead and jump through.
Blocking movement.
And as you see, it comes through the roof, lands, and there you go. And the reason why I like this wall a lot is because if for some reason you throw the wall and then you're like, oh, never mind, I'm gonna tuck in shower, you don't have to be too worried about someone flanking up, because as you can see, as we enter in shower, there's no way that they're really going to be able to see us. In fact, if we go on the other side of the wall, we can only see right here, which is standing here. So you're able to get into showers without having to worry about being flanked up on, so you can play in showers until the wall breaks, and then obviously you need to check. Or if someone is grabbing the orb, you can always swing out and try and kill them. But yeah, pretty solid lineup for the wall. I really enjoy it, but let's go ahead and move into actual wall boosts. Again, I don't think these are amazing, but it doesn't hurt to try it. So let's go ahead and move on to the first one.
Barrier deployed.
So as you guys can see, this is a new form of PB boost. It's like using 3 walls. Now, I'm not even going to explain this one because the way that I go about doing it isn't consistent yet. I haven't had time to go and try and make it consistent. The best way I can explain it is you're using this wall to make sure you are straight. So we are straight now. And then you're going to come over to this piece of rubble right here, and you're just going to go into the top left corner of it, turn left 3 times with the clicks, jump throw, and then as you can see, like, I'm not even consistent now. But you can always, if all else fails, you can always use it to get on top of truck. And yes, before anybody comments, I know you can get on top of the truck without other people. The main reason of this wall boost is to be peeking over the top of truck, and then you can crouch to kind of hide your body a bit more. But yeah, it's a pretty neat one. I'm still trying to make it perfect, and once I make it perfect, I'll make a whole video dedicating itself to it, maybe even try and get some clips with it. But yeah, so again, we're still trying to figure out how to make this one perfect, but let's go ahead and move on to the next one. So for this next one, we're not moving too far away. We're just coming to the front of the truck. What you're going to be doing is you're going to be looking at this double box right here and the first little like crack on it. And then you're going to be looking down at the ground, looking at the top of this diamond. There's like these diamond formations on the ground. You're going to be looking at the top diamond and the top of it. And as you can see, we get on top. You're not able to get access to sight with this wall. You can always throw a sensor here and here. And you may be looking at this like, well, can't they all just swing you? Well, the idea is that this is going to get smoked. You can have someone over here bait for you, and then you have your sensors on the ground. And you can kind of sit here. And if anything happens, all you have to do is just walk back like this to back out. Again, you would have like a sensor here or over there. So if someone did try and push out this far to swing you, you got the sensor to cover you. It's risky, but to make you know, if anybody doesn't watch Boni, Boni does actually, I've seen him throw his wall like this before to block off the main part of sight. So it doesn't hurt to go for. So yeah, you know, if you're ever just trying to go for a crazy play, go for it. But let's go ahead and move on to the next one. All right, so for the next one, what you can do is you can get on top of this here. The best way to explain this is there is a block out here, this one specifically, and the best way to remember it is there's I just take a screenshot of like where I'm looking right now. There's a small square above it, a big square with the corner down below it faded, a square above it with the left side of it faded, and then there is a square next to it that turns red on the top right of it. So you're going to be looking at the corner that is facing you, and then you're just going to do the normal wall boost. And as you can see, you're able to get on top, and I was implying that you're going to use this one on attack. And the main reason why is because you can get a pretty nice off angle to see past triple and past right here. And if you come inside, if you were a defender, you are not able to see a lot of sight at all. So it ends up blocking off their lamps retake. So not a bad wall to go for. Let's go ahead and move on to, I got one on B site, and then we'll move on to the next map. So moving on to the B site, the main problem with this site is that there's not really any reason to get a wall boost. You're not able to see out this window. This is too short to look over. You can get shot through the box. So the only one that I came up with is a pretty hard one, but it's honestly kind of worth it. So if you line yourself up on the left side of this building here, and then you look down in the sand, there is this like kind of like almost like a triangle shape. It continues off this way, but you can see it almost looks like a cursor. You're gonna be looking at the left side.
Barrier deployed.
And as you can see, you can get on top while blocking off this entrance, blocking off sight, and also blocking off the entrance to elbow. And you may say, well, they can just break this wall and then they have entrance in the elbow. But if you're thinking about it, when you're an attacker and you see this wall, you're not going to go break this orb. You're going to break this orb because you want access to sight. So you're going to break this one and then that one. And then you will be blocked off from elbow, or you may break the big orb, but most likely you're going to be smoked off. So that's the positives of this wall, but that's pretty much all I got for buying. So let's go ahead and move on to the next map. Okay, so moving on to Icebox, again, another map to where we don't have too many, but we do have some pretty solid ones. This first one is to get on top of Gen, and once again, before anybody says anything, I know that you can make this jump with the wire to Gen, but it is pretty hard. I'm not good at it. There are some other people that aren't good at it. So for any Deadlock players that aren't good at it, like me, you can wall boost on top of it. The only problem with this is that there isn't a proper lineup, so this is going to have to be done with just some understanding of how the wall boost works. And so I'll go ahead and show you guys how to do it now. So what you're going to be doing is the best place to line up is where these yellow triangles are, and then you're going to be looking at the ground and kind of just looking in that general direction to where the wall is going to come at your shoulder, and then you're going to just kind of figure out the general area you need to be looking. I would just practice this a couple of times and then it should become muscle memory. And so I'm just going to go ahead and go for it.
Barrier deployed.
And as you guys can see, you get on top while also achieving a wall to where they can't push in through the left side. And then you can look over here and get a free easy pick and then just drop down. And just to give you guys another wall, since there aren't too many really decent wall boosts on this map, just like mine. One thing that personally aggravates me about defending a Icebox is that, let's say like I'm in this corner wanting to play off my stun that I throw right here. Well, one thing I have to worry about is getting pushed there, through the wire. Like someone can stand on 410, someone can stand on pipes, someone can be here. You know, like if I try to get back out, I have to worry about all these positions. So one thing that I like to do is you're going to just go ahead and put your stuns in the normal spots. So here and here. So what you're going to be doing for this wall is you're going to notice these cracks in the ceiling. You're going to be looking at the bottom row. And you notice there's this one that just barely peeks over, then this one, and then this one. And looking at the peak, you're going to come just to the middle of the lowest peak and the highest peak. You're going to look in the middle, and then you're going to go ahead and jump through. And before I show the wall, this is what it looks like for attackers. Now, you may first look at this and be like, what the hell are we doing? Well, here's the point of the wall. First off, we can't zipline over. Now, you may think, well, they'll just go pipes. They are unable to get past this part. So, without having, you know, they can all look up here and try and break the orb, but most likely you have another teammate and they can swing off. You can swing off. But let's say they just say, you know, they're like, all right, screw it. We're just going to push in the side. You now have them walking into the stuns where they're not going to walk up on these stuns. It's great for an anti-rush. You know, I think it's like, why not go for it? So, pretty solid wall lineup. But yeah, so let's go ahead and move on to the next boost. All right, so moving on to the next one for Icebox, what we're going to be looking at is the top of tube right here. We are able to actually get on top of this. What you're going to want to do is once the barriers drop, you're going to want to push yourself up in this corner. You just got to be cautious of boiler and someone maybe pushing up through tube or holding tube. And then all you're going to do is you're going to look at this crack in the ground, and not where it completely fades, but just a little bit above it is where you want to be looking, and you're just going to go ahead and do the wall boost.
Barrier deployed.
And as you see, we're able to get on top. It also works in blocking anybody trying to push from tube. Obviously, yes, they can jump out of the window, but if someone were like on their way down, they can't fully get down in here, and now they're gonna have to make noise. But yeah, pretty solid one. I've used this one multiple times. It really does throw people off, and a lot of people don't understand how you get on top. Very dope wall boost, but I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys one to get on top of yellow, and then I have one special one I've never shown, and then we'll move on to the next map. Okay, so for getting on top of yellow, the best way to go about it is to go for this over there. These two boxes right here. You're gonna want to get on top of these because this is too tall for us. The only problem is unless you're on high graphics, which I am not. I don't like playing on high graphics because I like to get the more FPS. You have to kind of just, again, it's one of those you have to just kind of know where to be looking. So
barrier deployed.
And as you can see, we get on top. It blocks the main entrance, and then you're able to be on top of yellow. I would preemptively put like a trip here, and then maybe one over here, but you could also put one here for when they break the wall. And then just like if you're playing Jet, Chamber, or whoever else gets on top of here, you just gotta back off to drop down. So now I'm gonna show you guys one that's pretty unique, and I haven't done it in a game yet. And it's kind of iffy, but it's still a pretty cool one that I think could give us ideas to find other ones on different maps. So what you're going to do is you're going to come into the snowman area, and you're going to be looking up here, and you'll see these this like railing. You're going to be looking at there's this bar on the corner. There's this slanted one, and you're going to come to this third one that is straight, and just line yourself up the best as you can with that. And then you're going to be looking on the ground for all these shoe prints. And the way to know that you're looking at the right one is you'll see a faded shoe print going just a little bit into this other one. And then you'll see this one going into it as well. And this shoe print will be facing towards you. And you're going to see the grooves in the middle. You're going to go, there's one that's kind of hard to see right here. And then there's a second one. You're going to be looking in the middle because there's like one, and then like there's like one side of it and then the right side of it. And there's a middle like line that goes through it. So you're going to look at the bottom one, then the second one, you're going to look at the middle of that one. And as you can see, it lets us just barely, if you go too low, you'll shoot this, but you can barely see over. And let me just, I mean, you can shoot that low, and that, you can clearly tell that that's head height, but let me just ping that real quick. Then we're going to fly over real quick. As you can see, that's body shot. You know, that's you can definitely hit them in the head when you do it. The main problem with this one is I actually got very lucky. I normally don't hit that on the first try. It's very finicky on trying to have it be consistent. So besides that, though, it's a very fun boost to do. I haven't tried to hit it in a game, but definitely one for you to try out. Maybe take the concept and use it on a different map, and then maybe you go to a certain someone's Discord server and show it around. Discord link down in the bio. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next map now because I don't have any more for Icebox. Moving on to Lotus, we don't really have a lot, mainly because most of the boosts you can do, you're gonna end up being out in the open. For instance, if you were to boost on top of this box, you're gonna be exposed to the entirety of A main. You can boost on the rubble. It's pretty much just like any other boost. You just got to do it in kind of a different way. So if you're attacking and you want to get on top of rubble, You could. It's a little hard with how the ground is meshed because it's kind of like a hilly terrain. But I do have 2 cool boosts on C, just not any for B and A. Anything on A is not good enough for it to deserve being boosted on, if that makes sense. So I don't think it's worthy to bring it in here. It's just small stuff that if you look at the box, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, I could boost on top of that. But these 2 are pretty neat because I think it's really thinking outside of the box, especially one of them being that we have another PB boost. So I'll go ahead and show you guys how to do them right now. Okay, so for the PB boost, what you're gonna be doing is putting your back against this wall. And you're going to use this wall to know if you're straight or not. So right now, I am not straight in the right because I'm looking to the right. So we're going to turn to the left, and now we are straight. So you're going to find this group of lily pads, and you're going to see this gigantic one. You're going to see this right one next to it. And you'll notice there is a like a spike of water going through it. So what you're going to do is I'm going to line myself back up real quick. And then this is a little finicky. It's not 100% for sure, so more than likely I'm going to mess it up on the first try, but I'll show you guys my successful attempt. If you can find a more consistent way of doing this before you try and do it in any type of game, I would do that instead, but I'm just showing you guys the basic idea for the setup. So, once again, we are straight. We're going to come up to where that spike in the water is, and you'll see this edge of the lily pad right here. That I'm going to line my crosshair up just like this, and then I'm going to turn to the left 3, 4 times, and then we're just going to jump throw.
Barrier deployed.
Okay, and as you can see, we are now on top of the wall, and we're able to peek over. So here's where the main problem with this one comes, is that if there is a smoke in the way, you can't see anything. So what I would suggest is if you have a duo that plays smokes, let them know what you're doing. Even if you have a random, just let them know like, hey, you don't have to smoke off the main. Don't worry about that. So you're gonna do this, and then you can always walk to the left to make the wall break, and it'll break instantaneously, and then you can drop down and move to the left. Now a lot of people may look at this one and be like, it doesn't really seem all that worth it. I think it's another one. It's like the PB boost on Ascent. It's meant to just get you that one little freaky kill that no one expects. That is the main thing about wall boost, like with the PB boost, actually, I should say. Because wall boosting can be used to have a normal wall and get into an off angle. This boost is more for getting a cheeky kill, like doing a grim wall. So the other one is, what we're going to be doing is staying on C site, and you're actually going to get on top of this box here. Now before, I said that you couldn't see over smokes. But with this one, which is not a PB boost, it's a 100% accuracy boost, you can actually see over the smoke. Okay, so what you're going to be doing for this one is you're going to push yourself up against the back of this pillar, and you'll see this line right here. And then you'll see this kind of like white and gray shape right here that I'm highlighting with my crosshair. I'm going to go all the way around it. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to go to that line, and then you're going to move to the left, and line yourself up with this gray shape on the box. And this is just, it doesn't have to be perfect, you just need to get on the left side of it, because this is how the wall is going to get lined up. If you look out, you'll see this, it almost looks like a cloud or like a mountain peak, like break in the box. We're going to be looking above that, and you'll see this white spike that comes out right, like it does a little curve, and it comes out right to here. And you're going to be looking at the tip of this, and then you're just going to throw the wall, W, jump, and you'll get stuck. And then you will become 100% accurate.
Barrier deployed.
And as you can see, we are 100% accurate. And smokes typically are about this tall when we were testing it. And there is a sweet spot in the middle that they can hide behind. But so long as you're like holding the right side, or if they cross over to the left side, you can get your one pick. And then all you have to do is tap S to go backwards and just fall off. So again, it's another one of those, like, maybe you should have a teammate bait for, like a jet swing out and then, like, just go for a pop shot and dash back in and bait for you. And I would make sure that you put the smoke, like, a little bit in more, so that way they don't, like, see it and then just immediately rotate off. And if you're going to be doing this, I would pair it with a ceiling trip. And as you can see, we can hear the sensor, so we know it's gonna work. I think this trip
there.
here is really good. The only reason I don't use it other times is because I think it's redundant
Barrier
to
deployed.
have this sensor here and then have the wall here. They're just gonna get stunned, and then the stun doesn't really get as much value. So that's all I got for Lotus, so let's go ahead and move on to the next map. Okay, so for Split, it's another one of those maps where there just really isn't a lot, mainly because the things that you can do just aren't very useful. You can get on top of it, another one of those things where like you can get on top of it, but what's the benefit? It's like, are you gonna waste the barrier to do that? So the only two that I have are ones that like I don't think they're bad to go for, but they can be kind of iffy depending on what you're going for. And you know, you get those people who don't, you know, they just want you to play normal and whatnot, but who cares about that? Anyway, let's go ahead and show you how to do a boost here on A. You're gonna be pushing yourself up against the screen on site, and you're gonna see these little grass patches. You're gonna line, the best way to remember this is there's this one going in the middle of this one. You're gonna go to the one right next to it, and there's like this little slant on the side. You're gonna be just lining yourself up with that. It's not a PB boost, you don't have to be perfect. And then there's a tile right above it, and you'll just see these dots. There's this one right here. I'll go ahead and look, it's this one right here that I'm circling. I'll go ahead and look at it so you guys can get, just try and line yourself up in game if you're doing this at the same time. The other dots almost kind of make like a J, almost, and then there's just one random dot below it. You're just gonna be looking at that, and then you're gonna go ahead and do the wall boost. And as you can see, the reason why I like this wall boost is because it's kind of a nice off angle. You can throw a sensor down here for when they try and swing you, and you just can sit up here and then you can hop off. And this wall is pretty good because they can't enter into the right of sight, and if they want to enter into the left of sight, they got to go around the wall. It's not perfect in completely blocking off the site, but what you can do is just toss a sensor right there, and then when you hop off the wall, you can play off this sensor over here, or you can do this sensor here, which is almost a default sensor if I'm playing A. I love throwing this sensor here because you can sit back here, and people will, most of the time, when they're looking sight, they're going to be back here, and they're going to end up setting the sensor off. Pretty solid wall, doesn't hurt to go for. It's not like an S tier wall or anything, but doesn't hurt to go for. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you guys one on B, and then we'll move on to Sunset, that being our final map, and then we'll be done.
Barrier deployed.
Okay, so as you guys can see, I'm able to boost up and see over the wall, and all I have to do to break it is press S. The best way to explain this is there is this gray splotch on the ground, and you'll notice there is a like a spike at the top of it, and if you can't find it, just look on the ground. You'll see a gray circle with a white circle in the middle of it, and that's how you know you're in this like weird gray blob. And again, you don't need it to be this exact area. Like I could look at this area and then look further out, and so long as the wall hits me, it'll work. This is just the best version of the wall, and I'll explain why in a second. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna be looking at the top of that,
Blocking movement.
do the normal wall boost. I'm inaccurate because I jumped a little early because I was going fast. Just take your time, practice it. But the reason why this one is so good is because it blocks off main. Now, I know a lot of people are going to look at this and be like, well, you're going to be stuck in the back of sight. And that is true. So, as you can see, we're accurate. And then when I break it, as you can see, we are stuck in the back of sight. But hear me out. Most of the time, you have someone playing up in heaven, or you might have quick rotates and whatnot. Or, if you're lucky, you may have a duo. And that's why I think you should do a tilted sensor. Not enough to where it's gonna, so for right here it's gonna hit us, but it's like right on the edge. So if you just sit back, they cannot push you, and this stun should be able to hold. And you also have your net to bank off the wall and stall them for longer. It's kind of a coin flip. It's not bad, it's not great, but is there anything better? Not really. So I personally like this wall boost a lot. Another one that I want to do in game, haven't had the chance to do it because usually I am walling mid. But if you ever have a team that is able to play through mid better and you don't have to wall out for them all the time, I'd go ahead and try this one. I'd go ahead and try the one on B. And like I said earlier, at the beginning of the video, this video is more about showing like the best and the second and the thirds. This is not showing every single wall boost that you can do. All you need to know is that if you have a wall to your back, a corner you can stand against, or there's 2 blocks, 1 block, or you can make the walls uneven, then you can wall boost. It's just kind of down to what do you want to do? You know, for me personally, I only like walls or wall boosts that act like normal walls at the same time. So that's why I only do these. But when you're on attack and the wall is like, it's useful, it's good to get it down, but it's not like a necessity for claiming the site and attacking. It doesn't hurt to do stuff like PB boosts or 100% accuracy boosts and other things like that. But that's all for that part. That's all for Split. Let's go ahead and move on to Sunset, and then we will be wrapping up the video after that. Okay, so on Sunset, you guys are going to see wall boosts that I have posted tons of times, but they are my favorites. And unfortunately, there are kind of just no other wall boosts to do on Sunset. It's another one of those maps where, for example, when I talk about wall boosts that I just don't think are useful. For example, we have this box and this box. The reason why this box is useful to get on is because you can get on it fast. No one expects you to stand on it, and it's easy to do. This box right here, you can get on top of using the method where you throw it a little to your right and kind of glitch yourself up. You could totally get on top. But the problem is that the barrier is right here. So you have to run up, throw it perfectly, get on top, and by the time they're gonna be most likely out. And what's the point of getting on top of this when by the time you get up, they're gonna be staring right at you? You know, the only way I would do something like this is pairing it with like maybe like a gecko flash or just a normal flash, like a breach flash or KO flash or a omen blind or something. And then you can sit on top and you can just back off. But for the general audience, especially because this is very new tech that a lot of people are still learning, I haven't even mastered it. I want to give you guys ones that I think you can take into your games and use efficiently, just like this one. And to do this one, you just push yourself up against the box. You're going to see this spearhead on the ground, or it's a cracks that looks like a spearhead. You're going to go to the part that's facing you, go down one, and you're going to go down one more, because you'll see there's this extra little crack poking out. You're going to be looking right here.
Barrier deployed.
And as you can see, you can get on top. You can put a sensor right here, and then you can swing off. See? Super easy. Don't need to stress out about it. You have time to line it up in the pre-round. You can play off a stun. You can back off and go to sight. You can do the flash stuff I was talking about if you have a duo. Now, if we're moving on to a little bit of a harder one, but a way more fun one. This is my favorite boost. Well, I'd say this is my second favorite boost because PB boost exists, and finding the perfect way to do the Ascent boost was my absolute favorite part of doing streaming in YouTube so far. That was so cool. So what you're going to be doing is you can do it in this corner. That's totally fine if you want to do it in the corner. I kind of forgot the lineup to do it in the corner. What you're going to be doing to do it the other way to where you can block off the spike is not this corner, but you're going to be lining on this side of the box. So you're going to go ahead and walk up to it. Doesn't have to be perfect. And you'll see this belt on the ground, and you'll see these little baby triangles. I call them baby triangles because these are like the bigger triangles. So you're going to look at, there's pairs of two. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you're going to look at the top triangle and the top of that triangle.
Barrier deployed.
And as you can see, it gives you plenty of room to put the spike back here to where they can't diffuse through the wall. So you can get on top and get an off angle and be aggressive. And just in case you might die, the wall is now blocked in for 30 seconds unless they shoot it. But most likely you're going to have your team on site with you who can delay them from getting inside and have that full 30 seconds of stall. Solid wall. I've hit a boost with this in game. It's so much fun to do. I highly recommend this one because it's so easy to pull off once you get the hang of it. And if you want to be really cool, now I'm gonna mess this up on the first try, but if you want to be really cool, what you can do is let's say you get into a tight predicament. You can actually, it's so hard to do in my opinion, but you can actually wall ride on top of this and then you can position over here. Wall riding is elok's thing. That is not my thing. I cannot do it for the life of me. I've tried to do it. It's so hard. But yeah, the only other boost on Sunset is one on B that I'll go ahead and show you guys real quick. All you're going to be doing is coming over into B main, lining yourself up in the middle of this podium. It's very easy because it's where the triangles meet. And then you're going to look down at the ground, and you're going to see this crack right here. You're going to look at the bottom of the crack, throw it, jump, and you'll see you're 100% accurate, and you can see the spike. And all you have to do to drop down is press S like I just did, and then you can come out like this. Pretty good for like a 1v1 to throw off people. Pretty good in maybe like a 2v1 where maybe you're just hiding in main and you want to do some wacky stuff. But, you know, it's like getting close. You know you're already going to win the round and stuff, so why not go for the clip? That's pretty much everything I have for you guys. I'm sorry if this video ended up being maybe a little less than what you guys expected. There really aren't a lot of cool spots to boost on because unlike Grimwall, Grimwall can it glitches out like the one on Icebox where you put it on the box and you can peer over the top of nest on B site. That one's a lot easier for him to do because he has the 4 blocks to work with. And with us working with a really thin wall, we don't have too many places that we can do it and we're very limited. But as more wall boosts get discovered and get found out, I'll make more videos and more showing off the different boosts that you guys can do. Any new boosts we find, I'll make videos on. But with all that, I don't have much else to show you guys. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to show your support, go check out my Twitch. Leave a like and a subscribe and a comment. It really does help me out. We're getting so close to 1K. I really appreciate you guys so much. I can't even believe that I'm in this position right now. But I appreciate all your guys' support. And I will see you guys in the next one. You guys have a good day. Much love. And I'll see you guys next time.